Hello everyone! In this video we're going to look at 50 advanced adjectives to describe food and drink. We're going to start with words that are generally considered negative, then we'll have some neutral words, and we'll finish with a list of positive words. Tell me how many of these you know in the comments. The first word is bland. Bland. This means lacking flavour. The soup was bland, so I added some salt and pepper to try to give it some flavour. Next we have fishy. Fishy. This means smelling or tasting of fish, but not in a good way. I was a bit concerned because the vegetarian dish smelt fishy. This word is foul. Foul. It means having an unpleasant taste or smell. The foul smell coming from the fridge made it clear that something had gone bad. Just a reminder that if you would like to learn more advanced vocabulary, you can enroll in my advanced vocabulary course, which has 400 advanced words, by clicking the link in the description. The next word is greasy. Greasy. Greasy means cooked with too much oil or fat. The pizza was so greasy that it left a shiny residue on my hands. Gritty. Gritty. This means containing small particles of sand or stone. The salad was gritty, which made me think that the lettuce hadn't been washed properly. Insipid. Insipid. This is very similar to bland, but it's a bit stronger. It means having almost no taste. The coffee tasted insipid, with no rich flavour or aroma. Overcooked. Cooked too much. The carrots were really mushy because they were overcooked. Do you want to guess what the opposite is? Yes, it's undercooked. If carrots are undercooked, they are too hard. Next we have overripe. Overripe. This means too ripe, and often starting to decay. Overripe bananas aren't usually nice to eat, but they're perfect for making banana bread. And what is the opposite? Did you say underripe? Yes, the word underripe does exist, but it's actually more common to say unripe. And that means not ripe enough to eat. The bananas were obviously unripe because they were still green. Now we have overpowering. Overpowering. This means too strong or dominant. The garlic in the dish was so overpowering that it masked all the other flavours. What do you think the opposite is? No, the adjective underpowering doesn't actually exist. If you were looking for a word that meant the opposite, you could say subtle. Rancid. Rancid. This is usually used for food containing fat, like butter. It means having an unpleasant smell or taste because it is no longer fresh. The oil had gone rancid, giving the salad a terrible taste. Next we have rubbery. Rubbery. It means having a tough, elastic texture, or chewy. Yes, it comes from the word rubber. The calamari was rubbery and difficult to chew. Slimy. Slimy. Slimy means covered with a slippery or sticky substance. The lettuce had turned slimy, indicating that it was no longer fresh. You might be familiar with the noun slime. Next we have soggy. Soggy. Soggy means excessively wet and soft. The cereal had become soggy after sitting in milk for too long. This word is pronounced stodgy. Stodgy. It's more common in British English. It means heavy, filling, and often difficult to digest. The cake was stodgy and dense, so I couldn't finish it. Such a shame. Stale. Stale. This is usually used for things like bread, cake, or crisps. Stale means no longer fresh and therefore unpleasant to eat. Sometimes it happens when too much air gets to something. You can put stale bread in the microwave to make it soft again. Next we have stringy. Stringy. Stringy means containing long, thin pieces that are difficult to chew. The asparagus was stringy, probably because it wasn't fresh. The next word is tasteless. Tasteless. This simply means lacking flavour. Frank spent hours making a soup, but it turned out rather tasteless. I remember doing the same thing as a teenager because I didn't listen to my mother. The next word is tough. Tough. In the context of food, this means difficult to chew or cut, or not tender. If you don't cook beef correctly, it can be tough and hard to chew. The next word is unappetizing. Unappetizing. Unappetizing means unpleasant to eat or looking like it will be unpleasant to eat. The colour of the soup was unappetizing, but I was hungry, so I ate it anyway. The final word on the negative list is watery. Watery. You can probably guess what this means. It means containing too much water. The sauce was watery and lacked any depth of flavour. It is now time for the neutral list. The first word is citrusy. Citrusy. Citrusy means having a taste or smell of citrus fruits, like lemons, limes, or oranges. The salad had a citrusy dressing, which made it rather refreshing. Crumbly. Crumbly. Crumbly means breaking easily into small pieces. The cookie was crumbly, falling apart easily with each bite. The next word is fermented. Fermented. This means having undergone fermentation, a process which converts sugars into alcohol or acid. Kimchi is a popular fermented food with a strong, tangy taste. Next we have gooey. Gooey. This means soft and sticky. The brownie was perfectly gooey in the center. Yum. Hearty. Hearty. This means healthy and substantial. We had a hearty breakfast filled with protein and carbs before going on our hike. Next we have nutty. Nutty. This means having a taste or smell of nuts. No, Frank, not those types of nuts. The bread had a nutty flavour, which complemented the cheese well. This word is pronounced pungent. Pungent. It means having a sharply strong taste or smell. The blue cheese was pungent, with a strong and distinct aroma. Next we have rich. Rich. Yes, it can also be used to describe food. In this context, it means having a strong, full flavour due to containing a lot of fat, sugar, spices, etc. The chocolate cake was good, but incredibly rich, so I only had one slice. This word is spongy. Spongy. It means soft, light, and able to absorb moisture. Do you know what noun this comes from? Yes, it is obviously from the noun sponge, like SpongeBob SquarePants. There was nothing wrong with the cake, but it was too spongy for me. I prefer denser cakes. The last word for this section is tart. Tart. Yes, Frank, it rhymes with fart. Tart means having a sharp or sour taste. The lemon pie had a tart taste that balanced perfectly with the sweet meringue. And now some positive adjectives. Number 1. Aromatic. Aromatic. Aromatic means having a pleasant and distinctive smell. The kitchen was filled with the aromatic scent of fresh herbs. Next we have chilled. Chilled. This means cooled to a low temperature, but not to the point of freezing. The chilled gazpacho was perfect for a hot summer day. Now we have comforting. Pay attention to the pronunciation. It's comforting. Comforting means making you feel good and relaxed. The warm soup was comforting on a cold winter evening. Next we have delectable. Delectable. This simply means delicious, but it's rather literary. The chef made a delectable dessert that everyone loved. Now we have delicate. Delicate. This means light and fine in taste or texture. The pastry was delicate, with a light and flaky crust. Flavorful. Flavorful. This simply means full of flavor. The curry was flavorful, with a perfect blend of spices. Next we have full-bodied. Full-bodied. This is usually for things like wine or coffee. It means rich and complete in flavor or body. The Shiraz was full-bodied, with a deep and complex taste. And now we have heavenly. Heavenly. This means extremely delicious. With its rich and smooth texture, the chocolate mousse was heavenly. Now we have juicy. Juicy. Yes, this means full of juice. My hands were sticky after eating the sweet and juicy pineapple. The next word is mellow. Mellow. It means smooth and soft in taste. Yes, the wine had a mellow flavour which was easy to enjoy. This word is moreish. Moreish. It's a British informal word. It means so good that you want to have more. The cookies were so moreish, I couldn't stop eating them. Next we have mouth-watering. Mouth-watering. It means looking or smelling so good that you want to eat it immediately. The idea is that it causes saliva to flow in your mouth. The aroma of the roasted garlic and herbs was mouth-watering. Now we have nutritious. Nutritious. Nutritious means containing a lot of nutrients, or very good for you. The salad, which was packed with fresh vegetables, was both nutritious and delicious. Refreshing. Refreshing. This means making you feel less hot or tired. We had a refreshing lemonade after our long walk. Frank had a beer. Scrumptious. Scrumptious. This is an informal word that means extremely delicious. Ethel prepared a scrumptious meal for us all on Frank's birthday. The next word is succulent. Succulent. Succulent means tender, juicy, and tasty. George brought home some succulent pears from the local farmer's market. Next we have tender. Tender. Tender means easy to chew or cut. Boil the carrots until they are tender. This word is velvety. Velvety. It means smooth and soft in texture. The soup had a velvety texture that was smooth and rich. This word is wholesome. Wholesome. It simply means good for your health. It's similar to nutritious. I went to the country for the weekend and enjoyed wholesome meals made from local ingredients. And the last word for today is zesty. Zesty. Zesty means having a strong, pleasant, and somewhat spicy flavour. The zesty lime dressing added a bright and fresh flavour to the salad. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you want to practice using any of these words, please write an example sentence in the comments and I will try to correct it for you. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and, of course, share it with your friends. See you next time. Planes. Saliva. Oh, bugger. When it's used to describe food, motorcycles. The colour of the soup was probably because words. Yeah. Oops. Wait till the plane goes. This time with feeling. Soup was